Good day to our dear panelists. So we are the group Z3050 and I am Hal Christian B. Ortega.
I am Nika D. Kalongsod.
My name is John Kenneth F. Agkang.
During the widespread of this pandemic, many laborers, business owners, offsprings, adults, professionals, students, establishments, and etc. are affected in correspondence to our situation. The Department of Health, or DOH, released several memorandums through any social media platform. In conducting a great discussion, individuals must follow cooperative standards. The hypothesis of agreeable guideline was introduced by H. Paul Grice. He expressed that the members in a discussion ordinarily attempt to be enlightened, honest, significant, and clear. It implies each participant must donate commitments within the discussion as required. This is based from Zebwa, Rokimni, and Saleh of 2017. Our study was supported by the theory of conversational implications by Herbert Paul Grice. According to him, it is observed that in conversation, what is meant often goes beyond what is said, or shall we say that it refers to the utterance, contents, or to the speech acts of the meaning that is something different from what one say. The notions of the cooperative principle is based on the assumption that our utterance often imply more than we say in conventional meaning of the words used. This is because conversational implications offers a pragmatic explanation of linguistic behaviors.
Our study is under the umbrella of operative principles. Grace 1975 distinguished these specific maxims, namely, quantity speakers' contribution is informative as required. Quality speakers tells the truth or provides adequate evidences for his or her statement. Relation speaker responds in irrelevant to the topic of conversation. Manners speaker speaks straightforwardly and clearly avoids ambiguity and obscurity.
So, those mentioned maxims of conversations are a collection of a maxims to describe the principles that people intuitively follow in order to guide our conversation and also to make our communication efforts effective. So, in each step of a conversation exchange can be analyzed in terms of whether it conforms to maxims or not. There are four possibilities in most cases. All maxims are obeyed in the devious case. Maxim is disobeyed, but the other participant doesn't seem to notice. There is a different case that one participant overtly opts and another when a maxim is flouted. That is, it is disobeyed not secretly but by a clearly non-conforming performance. So our specified studies demonstrate that this issue exists in the context of the DOH memorandums, not just in the utterances or in our daily conversations. You'll know that many researchers have studied the conversational maxims applied in different linguistic analysis, and if there were maxims that was being obeyed, so therefore these maxims can also be flawed. Our study analyzes the different types that was used in different memorandums of the Department of Health with regards to COVID-19. The Department of Health memorandums have become the instrument in such information and protocols that we obey nowadays as we observe. So, This theory is the tool in conducting our research. In such, giving irrelevant responses could affect the communication and may lead to misunderstanding that such maxims can be flawed.
The purpose of this study is to discover the maxims of DOH memorandums. Maxims will be defined as specific rational principle observed by people who follow cooperative principle in pursuit of effective communication. Presumably, this research will build various insights that will allow the researchers to know more and widen their perspectives on how maxims are applied and being used within the memorandums and in other aspects as well.
The methods. Um, these papers aim to capture the maxims of DOH memorandums of COVID-19. This is the qualitative discourse analysis in the nature. It is said that it is a research method for studying written or spoken language in relation to its social context. It aims to understand how language is used in real life situation. It can thus be oriented as a locus of both meanings or actions. In a discourse, can be treated as a vehicle for making meaning, doing things, or both.
The materials in a qualitative study must be best source of linguistic analysis through an online memorandum from the Department of Health. That being said, they are usually found on throughout the usage of internet access using the random sampling of Oakland 1993, the maxims of quality, quantity, relevance, and manner, and the violations of these maxims will be identified in a memorandum, concurring to the pre-selected criteria pertinent to the inquiry about questions created. A memorandum, more commonly known as memo, could be a brief message or record utilized for inside communication in commerce. It is usually used to clarify and or specify the terms of a cooperative or collaborative arrangement involving two or more organizations. So in order for our materials to be qualified for our data, so we must choose 25 memoranda from the Department of Health or DOH that talks about COVID-19 from the official DOH or Department of Health Gazette website as our primary source of data. As for our secondary source, we will get some memorandum from other non-DOH officials website.
So, the corpora of which we will gather are the memorandums of the DOH for COVID-19. So, furthermore, our studies inclusion criteria will exactly revolve on the DOH memorandums on COVID-19. We will then collect those 25 corpora from the official Department of Health websites. So, in this sense, we will collect the corpora for a much better legitimacy and unwavering quality of the study conducted. COVID-19 has infringed the entire planet, and the World Health Organization has proclaimed it a pandemic. So, countries all across the world have enacted mass travel bans, temporary curfews, and severe restrictions on human movement, thereby halting domestic and international trade. We want to know if these memorandums released by the DOH does obey or violate the maxims of conversation. So the corpus is a secondary data since it was accumulated by others in public space. a secondary data is a rule-free or cheap to get, and it may serve as strong establishment for any continuous inquiry about given. You know where to search for it and how to decide its worth and pertinence. So, following steps will be used in obtaining our research materials in the study. First, we will ask for the approval of our panel members as we present our proposed study. This will offer the assistance for us to know the diverse steps in getting to investigate those fabrics. Second is we will have to collect all the necessary files needed, and lastly, we will proceed in analyzing the data with the help of our data analyst.
The materials in a qualitative study must be best source of linguistic analysis through an online memorandum from the Department of Health. That being said, they are usually found on throughout the usage of internet access using the random sampling of Oakland 1993. The maxims of quality, quantity, relevance, and manner, and the violations of these maxims will be identified in a memorandum, concurring to the pre-selected criteria pertinent to the inquiry about questions created. A memorandum, more commonly known as memo, could be a brief message or record utilized for inside communication in commerce. It is usually used to clarify and or specify the terms of a cooperative or collaborative arrangement involving two or more organizations. So in order for our materials to be qualified for our data, so we must choose 25 memoranda from the Department of Health or DOH that talks about COVID-19 from the official DOH or Department of Health Gazette website as our primary source of data. As for our secondary source, we will get some memorandum from other non-DOH officials website. Moral thought is an indispensably portion of an inquiry about handle plan. We, the analysts, will assemble the information completely and arrange to get the genuine transcripts of the DOH memorandums on COVID-19. Moral contemplation influences all stages of the inquiry about prepare from proposition to distribution. They relate to the research point, the questions, the social settings of the investigate, the relationship between the analyst and the researched, and researchers' claim method.
The part of the control must be considered in the relationship between the analysis and the members in arranged to realize solid and substantial investigate result. The proposed investigate will keep the most elevated moral measures